Ever pondered your chances of surviving an encounter with the infamous Jason Voorhees? Today, we're diving into that chilling proposition. Jason Voorhees, the hockey-masked horror from the Friday the 13th series, is more than a mere man. He's a seemingly unstoppable force, a relentless pursuer with a penchant for the macabre. He's a figure shrouded in both fear and fascination, a character that has haunted our screens and our nightmares for decades. But what if you found yourself face to face with this icon of terror? What if you had to outsmart this embodiment of dread to survive? It's a spine-chilling thought, isn't it? Yet fear not, for this is not a tale of despair. Today, we're going to help you navigate this nightmare scenario. We're here to equip you with the knowledge, the strategies, and the courage to confront the seemingly unconquerable. Sounds terrifying, right? But don't fret. We're here to help you navigate such a nightmare scenario. Facing Jason Voorhees isn't a walk in the park. This is not your typical villain. He's not a man you can simply outwit or outrun. No, Jason Voorhees is a name that sends chills down the spine of even the most seasoned horror aficionado. A hulking figure, draped in a weathered and worn hockey mask, Jason is the embodiment of your worst nightmares. His strength is unparalleled, lifting victims with a single hand, shattering doors with a single kick, and snapping chains as if they were mere threads. His stealth, too, is something to be reckoned with. Despite his size and the heavy footfalls that echo ominously in the dead of night, Jason has a knack for appearing when and where you least expect him. He could be lurking in the shadows, waiting just around the corner, or perhaps he's already behind you, his presence only announced by the cold dread that trickles down your spine. But perhaps the most terrifying aspect of Jason Voorhees is his seeming invulnerability. Bullets, knives, fire, none of these seem to faze him. He shrugs off attacks that would fell any normal man, continuing his relentless pursuit with an eerie, unnatural persistence. And let's not forget his supernatural abilities. Jason's ability to seemingly teleport is well documented, with his victims often finding themselves trapped in a deadly game of cat and mouse, unable to shake off their relentless pursuer no matter how far or fast they run. So, we are dealing with a supernatural, seemingly invincible monster who possesses superhuman strength and stealth. A creature who is relentless in his pursuit and impervious to most forms of attack. Facing such a formidable foe might seem like a futile endeavor. After all, how can you hope to survive an encounter with a horror icon who has claimed countless victims and emerged victorious from every confrontation? So we know the odds are stacked against us, but is there a way to outsmart this horror icon? Are there strategies, tactics, or tricks that could tip the balance in our favor? That's the challenge we're going to tackle. Let's dive in. Surviving Jason Voorhees requires more than just luck. These words should echo in your mind if you ever find yourself facing off against this unstoppable force. But fear not, for we are here to arm you with the best strategies to stay alive. First up, let's talk about the environment. Jason is a creature of habit, often sticking to his stomping grounds around Crystal Lake. This means he knows the terrain better than anyone. However, this doesn't mean you can't use the environment to your advantage. Think about it. The forest is filled with potential tools and hiding spots. A sturdy branch could be used as a weapon or a distraction, while thick foliage can provide a perfect hiding spot. But remember, Jason is a master tracker, so cover your tracks and keep moving. Next, we need to discuss the importance of staying calm under pressure. It's easy to panic when you're being hunted by an undead killing machine, but that's exactly what Jason wants. He feeds off fear. It clouds your judgment and slows your reaction time. Instead, try to keep a clear head. Focus on your breathing, steady your heartbeat, and most importantly, keep quiet. Jason has a knack for finding those who scream the loudest. Now let's talk about resourcefulness. You're not going to find a cache of weapons or a SWAT team waiting to rescue you. More often than not, you'll only have what you can find or what you've brought with you. A flashlight can disorient Jason momentarily, buying you precious seconds to escape. A pocket knife, while not ideal, can still inflict enough damage to slow him down. Even a simple rock can be a lifesaver if used correctly. The key here is to use what you have effectively. Another crucial strategy is to never go alone. There's strength in numbers. Jason may be powerful, but he can only be in one place at a time. Working together increases your chances of survival, allowing you to distract him, help each other escape, or even fight back if the situation calls for it. Lastly, remember that Jason is not invincible. He's been defeated before. It takes cunning, bravery, and a bit of luck, but it can be done. Always look for opportunities to turn the tables. Whether it's trapping him, luring him into a false sense of security, or exploiting his weaknesses, every opportunity counts. Remember, it's not about outmuscling Jason. It's about outsmarting him. The game of survival is a chess match, not a boxing match. The strategies we've discussed today are your chess pieces, and it's up to you to use them wisely. So the next time you find yourself in a Friday the 13th scenario, remember these tips, and you might just live to tell the tale. Let's dive into a scenario where these survival tactics pay off. Picture this. The moon is high, the night is silent except for the eerie echoes of nature, and you're alone with the infamous Jason Voorhees. You remember the strategies we've discussed, using the environment, staying calm, quick thinking, and resourcefulness. This is where they come into play. You're in the woods, the domain of Jason, the place where he feels most comfortable. But remember, it's not just his territory, it's yours too. You know the importance of using the environment to your advantage. So you make your move, darting between trees, using the underbrush for cover, creating distance between you and the unstoppable force that is Jason Voorhees. Your heart races, adrenaline surges through your veins, but you remember, stay calm. Panic is the enemy. It clouds judgment, slows reaction time. You take a deep breath, steady your shaking hands. You're not just a victim, you're a survivor. Suddenly you spot a cabin, a glimmer of hope in the moonlight. Quick thinking kicks in. You know Jason's slow but relentless pursuit means he will follow you into the cabin. You dash into it, swiftly barricading the door with anything you can find. Furniture, logs, anything heavy enough. You're buying yourself precious time. In the cabin you find useful tools, a flare, a rope. Resourcefulness becomes your weapon. You make a trap, ready to stun Jason long enough for you to make your escape. And when the door finally gives way under Jason's relentless assault, you're ready. The flare lights up, blinding him momentarily. The trap is sprung. You seize the moment, slipping away into the darkness. See, even in the face of such terror, survival isn't impossible. It's about using your wits, staying calm, and remembering that even in the most dire of circumstances, you have the power to shape your own destiny. With the right strategies and a little bit of luck, you too can survive an encounter with Jason Voorhees. Let's recap what we've learned today. We've ventured into the chilling world of Jason Voorhees, an entity of nightmarish strength, stealth, and supernatural abilities. Anyone unlucky enough to cross paths with him faces an unimaginable challenge. However, as we've seen, survival is not an impossibility. It's a test of quick thinking, resourcefulness, and an unyielding will to live. We've delved into potential survival strategies, such as using the environment to your advantage and maintaining calm under pressure. We've explored a significant moment when these strategies allowed a survivor to narrowly escape Jason's relentless pursuit. These tales of survival aren't just thrilling narratives, they're lessons in resilience. So whether you're facing the real Jason Voorhees or any other seemingly insurmountable obstacle in your life, remember the essence of our discussion today. Remember, surviving an encounter with Jason Voorhees is all about keeping your wits about you. We hope you found these survival strategies enlightening. You've taken your first steps into a larger, darker world, one where the boogeyman is real and he wears a hockey mask. But fear not, for every monster has its weakness, every nightmare its awakening. Let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned today. Survival in the face of the unstoppable, the seemingly invincible Jason Voorhees, hinges not on brute force but on cunning, calmness, and an understanding of your environment. It's not about being the strongest or the fastest, but about being the smartest. Remember the importance of staying calm under pressure. Panic is a potent poison, clouding your judgment and slowing your reactions. It's natural to be afraid, especially when faced with a figure as terrifying as Jason Voorhees. But fear can be a powerful motivator if harnessed correctly. It can sharpen your senses, make you more aware of your surroundings, and spur you into action. Keep in mind the environment is your ally. Use it to your advantage. Jason may be strong and relentless, but he can't outmaneuver a falling tree or a cleverly constructed trap. The wilderness of Camp Crystal Lake is not just a setting for horror, but a toolbox waiting to be utilized. We've also talked about the importance of quick thinking. In a life or death situation, every second counts. Split-second decisions can mean the difference between survival and a grisly end. So keep your wits about you, stay alert, and always be prepared to think on your feet. And finally, remember the power of resourcefulness. The ability to adapt, to make do with what you have, can be a lifesaver. A simple stick can be a weapon, a distraction, or a tool for creating a makeshift barrier. Never underestimate what you can do with a little ingenuity. The world of horror movies is not just about scares and screams. It's also a testing ground for survival skills, a place where the quick and the clever triumph over the monstrous and the menacing. And while we may never have to face Jason Voorhees in real life, the lessons we learn from these films can be applied to our everyday lives, making us braver, smarter, and more resilient. Now it's your turn. We've shared our strategies for surviving an encounter with Jason Voorhees, and we want to hear yours. Have you ever thought about how you'd escape a horror movie villain? What tools would you use? What strategies would you employ? Share your survival tips in the comments below. Let's create a community of survivors, helping each other navigate the dark and treacherous waters of horror. And if you want more content like this, if you want to delve deeper into the world of horror survival, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We've got plenty more survival strategies, tips, and tricks to share, and we'd love to have you along for the ride. Stay safe, stay smart, and remember, knowledge is your best weapon against fear.